keeping your crown fit and your soul lit.
Too lit. Before lit.
This is the Crowns Up Podcast with Xavier Brandon, the #1 spot for hip-hop, faith, and culture.
I do this for my culture.
Streaming on all digital and streaming platforms. Follow us on social media at Crowns Up Pod. Subscribe and like on YouTube and get the latest hip-hop news and what's good with the culture.
Represent the entire hip-hop culture, man.
Meet us at the crossroads for dope convos and questions on faith. Get the barbershop debate raw and real with top 5 interviews with family, influencers, and get a mic check with your favorite artists.
Mic check 1 2 1 2 1 2.
Remember to always keep your crowns up.
Yo, what's poppin', family? It's your man Xavier Brandon, and it's another lovely edition of the Crowns Up Podcast, episode 24. You already know, #1 spot for hip-hop, faith, and culture, keeping your crown fit and your soul lit. Man, I know some of y'all been like, yo, X, where you been at? Well, y'all know I got on the radio, and so that's taking up a lot of my time. So for all my faithful people of the Crowns Up Podcast, I'm so sorry I have left y'all for so long, but I'm back, baby. And it's the holiday season, so happy holidays to everybody who's celebrating the holidays, whether it's Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, Christmas, or whatever you're doing. I hope you're enjoying yourself with your family, your friends, man. And yeah, always keep your crowns up. Yo, we're back at it again, and we have a special guest in the building. Man, this woman is phenomenal. She's a world speaker. You know what I mean? She's a traveler. She's a healer. She's a stand-up comedian when she feels like it. You know what I mean? She's a life of the party, and she's blessed us in the garage to come and party with us and talk to us about some things. So I'm gonna let her introduce herself. Yo, Doc, what's going on?
Hey, how's it going?
Good. Tell the people what's your name, who you are, what you specialize in, and I appreciate you coming to the podcast.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for having me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here in the flesh.
Yeah.
So my full name is Dr. Katherine Igah-Phillips.
Mm-hmm.
Most people just call me Dr. K, just the letter K.
Yeah.
And where do I begin? Okay, so like you said, world speaker, but also best-selling author.
Best-selling author. Okay, talk that talk.
Yes, my book is on Amazon called No Time to Waste. And I also am a personal development coach. I am also a medical doctor. Mm-hmm. I do things a little differently because I'm more holistic. I look at the whole body. I give people natural healing options.
Yeah.
And my practice is called Mind, Body, Spirit Wellness Center in North Atlanta. And we provide a platform for people to come get very customized but high quality healing and results that they're not getting in conventional medicine by itself. So it's considered an integrative medicine practice.
Dope. Well, we're going to get into some of those things. We appreciate you coming and pulling up to the Crowns Up Podcast. You're going to have a good time. Don't worry. Don't stress. It's going to be real chill, all right? This is going to be nothing like... It's going to be exactly how we normally talk, okay?
Yes.
All right, great. So, Dr. K, we got to get to what's good with the culture, which is a segment where we talk about what's going on in hip-hop culture nowadays. And big salute to Cardi B, okay? Big salute. If you didn't know, Cardi B has become the first female MC to have 3 diamond records. Okay, if you don't know what diamond means, that's past platinum. That's like 10 million. Okay, 10 million records sold, streamed, whatever the way they count it. She got 3 of them. Dr. Cat, do you listen to Cardi? Are you a Cardi fan?
I am.
Okay, all right. Cool.
do.
So what do you think it means for our culture to have someone like Cardi reach this type of level of success? 3 diamond records. Nobody's doing that. No female MC has done that before. What does that mean to see somebody like her have such a successful run in the game like that?
I mean, I know for me personally, so Cardi and I are in 2 like polar opposite industries, but just to see a brown girl like me, like making it and doing it, and her grind and her hustle, she works hard and she like has established a name for herself without any extra pushing,
Yeah.
you know, and I think that that's huge because it instills a lot of inspiration and motivation in people like me and entrepreneurs and people who are trying to be trailblazers in their industry to just work hard, grind. It doesn't matter what people think about you today, you know, as long as you know where you're going, then that's all that matters. So I respect Cardi in that regard, and I think it's huge because the rap industry has always been like a very misogynistic industry that was dominated by men since I can remember. So it's just amazing to see where we've come now to where the artist that's hitting these numbers is a female and is a black female. I think this is like monumental for just us as a people in the music industry.
Yeah, I think it's really dope, especially given her story. You know, given her story from being from the Bronx, coming from the hood, working in the nightclubs, the strip clubs, and being a part of that culture, to getting on Love and Hip Hop, to dropping a #1 song in Bodak Yellow, where, you know, that came out of nowhere, and that was a first, you know, and then getting another one, and then now this one, I think is pivotal, and it should show any MC, female or not, that it's attainable and it can happen. And yes, that her voice and her story and your voice and your story matters. You know what I'm saying? You know, because Cardi, when she first started, she wasn't the most eloquent rapper. Like, she wasn't dropping phenomenal bars and stuff like that, but she can make a hit. And I think she targets a certain demographic, and she speaks for a certain group of women and group of people who are like, yo, I came from the hood, I came from the struggle, but look, my dreams can come true. You know what I mean? Right. And so I think it's phenomenal work. So definitely salute to Cardi on that. Great. I don't know if you follow sports and stuff like that. I'm not necessarily the biggest sports fan, but I do know this weekend we have the Celebration Bowl here in the city of Atlanta. It's going to be Jackson State University versus South Carolina State University. You know, big HBCU game. And Travis Hunter, who's like the #1 draft pick, high schooler in the country, was scheduled to go to Florida State, I believe. You know what I mean? And he ended up switching at the last minute and decided to go to Jackson State University. Now, Jackson State is in Mississippi, and it also happens to be where Coach Deion Sanders, a.k.a. Coach Prime, a.k.a. All About the Money, Deion, Prime Time, you know, happens to be the coach there. And so I just want to know from you, what do you think it means for something like that to happen, for like HBCUs to finally get some attention, to get some love, to be kind of put in a good spotlight, you know what I mean, for our culture?
Ooh, I think this is a big win for us that we don't really talk about a lot. Like, we get caught up with like we were like the music industry and the entertainment industry, but in sports, the closest we've come is kind of like, you know, the SEC, you know, like like that whole thing, and then like the off the field stuff, like the battle of the bands and the stuff. But so this is like casting a spotlight on us finally, giving us our flowers as athletes. Like, we outperform, our numbers don't lie, and we outperform people all the time, and it's just amazing to see that recognition and notoriety finally coming to the historically black institutions. I like it. I think this is cool.
Yeah, I think it'll be real dope. I think, like you said, man, HBCUs never got any real love, never really good attention, whether it's from financial aid and funding, or it's from like attention on like TV, primetime TV, you know? And I think with Deion going there and him, you know, kind of like changing the culture and trajectory and showing that not only can somebody like him come to a place like Jackson State, but they can also win. You know what I'm saying? They can win, and then they can get like such a phenomenal athlete to come and not go to the D1 school, not go to the where everybody expects him to go, but he wants to go somewhere where he can learn not only to better his skill set, but also better himself as a man. Yo, I think it's phenomenal, and I'm looking forward to what Jackson State does in the near future, but also what type of impact the world finally gets to see that HBCUs contribute to our country and to our culture and to our people. Because I'm an HBCU grad, and it definitely changed my life. I know plenty of people who are HBCU grads, and I think that HBCUs are pivotal to making up the foundation and the fabric of this culture, and this country, So shout out to Travis Hunter, shout out to Coach Prime, shout out to Jackson State University. I hope y'all take the W this Saturday, at the bowl. So it should be good. So what have you been listening to lately? What do you be bumping in your car? What gets you through your day? What type of vibe do you like to listen to?
Well, usually for me it's gonna be Afro beats.
Okay. Well, tell them why though.
Well, the main reason why I'm Nigerian.
Hey,
represent Niger Pride.
Niger Pride in the building.
Yeah, so I'm always, Nigeria is like dominating right now on the Afrobeat scene, and it always like reminds me of what I grew up listening to. It's like a merger between the traditional and like hip hop blended together. So I get like the best of both worlds. So if I need to get my energy up, it gets me up. If I need to be chill, it levels me out. It just kind of gives you whatever you need.
Yeah.
So.
What do you have a favorite artist or whatever like that you go to? Is it like a playlist you go to?
I have. I mean the staples that everyone's listening to, I like them, like the Burna Boy and Wizkid and Davido and all of them. I respect them. I like the old school flavor and the new upcoming artists. It's funny we were talking about Cardi because in the Afrobeat scene, the women are rising now to the top, and that's really cool to see because it was all like men before. So it's turning into something. Like it has a mind of its own, and I just like it. I just vibe out to that.
Yeah, shout out to Tiwa Savage out here, killing
Tiwa
the game.
Killing it,
and Tim's too. Yo, that Tim's out. Yo, Tim's.
Yes.
Yo, that joint is fire. And shout out to all the Afrobeat people that's holding it down. I've been listening lately. I heard this album by a dude named Russ. I don't know if you know about Russ. Russ is like a dope MC. Like he has a project called Chomp 2. It has Benny the Butcher on it, Jada Kiss, Styles P, Ghostface Killer, like people who know how to rap, like, you know what I mean,
right.
On this project, and it's really good. So if you haven't checked out Chomp 2, go check it out. And also been bumping Lecrae and 1K Few. They got a project called No Church in a While that dropped. It is pretty good, a good solid body of work. So yeah, there's a lot of good music out there. So definitely go check it out. So now, next segment we're gonna get into is a crossroads segment. Y'all know we talk about an issue of faith that millennials or any generation really go through, and I thought it would be fitting for us to talk to Dr. K about just like her thoughts on holistic healing and holistic practices. There's been a lot of people who's been dying lately. You know what I mean? Yeah. Just like whether it's from COVID or it's from, just you just don't know. Like there was an NFL player, who passed away. His name was Demaryius Thomas. He died at age 33. Just they just found him. Another one died. He was in the NFL, and he died from CTE. Like I guess too many hits and stuff like that. Yeah. And it just crazy. And I know Black people, when we come to our spirituality, we're very diverse and we're very interesting. We're not monolithic, so we don't just go to one thing. And sometimes we don't trust the doctors. You know what I mean? You know this. You know what I mean? And sometimes we're looking for more natural remedies for things. So I figured, how do you see healing as a form of practice of spirituality, and what should we be looking for and looking to when it comes to being better human beings and making sure we live and sustain ourselves on this earth a little bit longer?
Ooh, that's a loaded question.
Yeah, I was saying, I know it's kind of loaded. But I know you got some bars that you about to drop. You know what I mean? I know you about to give us some real good gems.
I got some bars.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
But no, from a spiritual standpoint, I feel like, everybody understands that our body is our temple, right? People say it all the time, but people don't really live into that notion. So like understanding that your body is really a vessel that you are renting, like you are borrowing it. So you have to return, you have to keep it in a certain condition, as if like when you rent a car, you're not going to just trash it, mess up the tires and just here you go, Avis or whoever. You want to make sure that you're maintaining it. So we have a bigger reason why we're here. We have a mission, we have a purpose, we have a way that we're supposed to plug in and elevate humanity. And you cannot do that if you are too tired or your hormones are imbalanced or you're just sick all the time or you're 6 feet under. You can't execute your purpose and what God has for you to experience in this earthly experience without having your body be functioning optimally.
Yeah.
And just firing off at all missiles. Like, you don't want to just have brain fog, like I can't think.
Yeah.
So now you can't be the entrepreneur that you're supposed to be. You can't hit the numbers monetarily that you're supposed to hit. Now you don't have the resources that you need to change the world that how you were supposed to change it. And it's just a domino effect, just off of your day-to-day lifestyle decisions.
Yeah.
So I think it's important, and this is in my book too, that when you strip everything away, at the end of the day, all we have are time and choices. And what you do with those two things will change your life when it comes to your health and your wellness. So it's the little moment by moment choices that build together to create, like, am I disease free or not? So paying attention to those are huge, and the lifestyle, huge.
All right, let's talk about this lifestyle. So how do we remain like disease free? Like, what are some things? I know you're probably about to hit us with, you got to eat right, you got to change your diet, you know what I mean? There might be some things like supplements we can take versus like popping pills and stuff like that. Like, what are some of those tips that you can give us to like live a healthier or a better or a more elevated lifestyle?
Ooh, how much time do we have?
I mean, hey, whatever you need.
I can go as deep as I was just buy the book.
Right.
But so when it comes to the lifestyle, everybody talks about food and the diet and the eating. But what I teach is that the lifestyle actually represents just a fifth of your lifestyle. The diet represents a fifth of the lifestyle, and the other four components are made up of like how much you're moving. So your physical activity. It doesn't mean you have to get the membership at the gym. Just every day, how are you maximizing movement of your joints, of your muscle groups, your mobility, your flexibility, your agility, all of those things, endurance. And then the third piece would be rest. So
something I need a lot of. Yes.
How much rest are you getting? And rest, not to be confused with sleep, like distinguishing between the two. So sleep, very important, 7 to 9 hours every 24-hour period. But then when you're awake but resting, what does that look like for you? And a lot of people don't know what that looks like.
Hold on. First of all, 7 to 9 hours.
Of
so
sleep.
If I'm getting like 6, I'm just not.
You're subpar. You're not. It's not optimal.
Yeah.
You may not die. But like, you're not giving your body all that it needs. There's a lot that happens when you sleep. A lot. Like, every stage of sleep you go through, major things are happening in each stage. So if you're skipping stages from broken sleep or not hitting certain stages because you didn't go to sleep on time, like, you're just missing out on like, your brain detoxes while you sleep. So if you're not giving your brain a chance to clean itself out, that's a breeding ground for inflammation, for dementia, Alzheimer's, like, these are the ways that you shape how your body will be tomorrow. So
all that just from sleep.
Just from sleep.
Jeez.
Okay. Yeah.
And then you said difference between like sleep and rest. So if I'm laying on a bed on a couch watching TV, you know what I mean? is that rest? Or is that like, does that not count? Asking for a friend. I'm asking for a friend.
So for me, rest is when you're not stimulated. Like you're not externally stimulated by like a TV. Like you're processing stuff and you're receiving stuff from that medium, the TV.
Okay.
But if you have the TV off and your phone away and you're just laying there.
So I'm not scrolling, I'm just sitting there.
You're just being with yourself and not being like, a lot of people are like, with myself. I can't. But that's if you can sit and just focus on your breathing or meditate or journal or pray or whatever mindfulness act that you do that centers you and brings you back into alignment, that would be considered rest, because you're not engaging like neurons and different things aren't, you're processing a TV show, listening, trying to sing along with the song, like you're just being. So that would be rest. So after you sleep, you still owe yourself some rest time, whether you hit the 7 to 9 hours or not. And then after that, the next part of the lifestyle would be stress management. That's a big one for us. And how well you're managing stress can determine the difference between a cancer diagnosis or not, autoimmune disease diagnosis or not, nutritional depletion, just being tired all the time or not. Stress is linked to a lot of different things. Sleep is linked to a lot of different things. And like weight loss. A lot of people are trying to lose weight. And then when I ask about like, how many hours of sleep are you getting? And they're like, what does that have to do? And I'm like, everything. Because again, one of those stages of sleep, you're regulating your satiety hormones, which release and tell you when to stop eating, when to start eating. So if you're not fulfilling that requirement of hitting that stage and allowing them to do what they need to do, then it's going to cause a problem when you're awake in the realm of weight loss. So there is a connection. And the same with stress. When you stress out, it leads you to do certain things because you're now in the fight or flight. Like a lot of people say comfort eating or stress eating. I call
emotional eating.
Emotional eating, yes. I call it compulsive eating. You're usually grabbing for things that light up those pleasure centers, make you feel back good again. And they're usually not the best
good for
thing.
you at all.
Yes.
Not good for you at all.
High sugar, high carbs. And then here we go again with the weight loss. So everything is connected. And the final part of the lifestyle would be your controlling your exposure to toxins, like toxin exposure reduction. Okay. So like looking at the integrity of the things that you're putting on your skin, in your hair, on your teeth, like how natural are they? Like, do they have chemicals on the label that you can't pronounce? Or...
Like petroleum. yo, she...
I forgot all about that.
All right, so you said we got to watch what we put in our bodies to get rid of the toxins, right? So one of the things that I was talking to Dr. K offline, and she told me, I got to stop using Vaseline because it got petroleum jelly in it. And I'm like, what's the problem with that? She's like, petroleum, like the same stuff you put in gas. So what are some of the things that we probably use that we need to stop using because it's increasing the toxins in our body? Like,
ooh, so I don't want to like brand drop, but what I'll say is that if you can just look at every single, like the beard creams, the lock, whatever you're putting in your hair, your lotions. One rule of thumb I use is that if I can't eat it, then I'm not going to put it on my skin or my hair. So like I was telling you, like I'll go to the grocery store and buy a jar of coconut oil, and then I'll get two. I'll get one for the kitchen and then one for the bathroom. So because one goes in my hair, on my skin, and then I cook with the other one. So it's the same thing. And it's not like got it at the hair store, coconut oil that has like 12 ingredients in it when it's supposed to be coconut oil.
That's it.
Yeah. So you want to be mindful of all of those things. Because when I talk about toxins, people are always like, oh yeah, like air pollution, like, secondhand smoke and lead, asbestos. And I'm like, yeah, but you're actually coming into contact with other toxins more commonly than those. Like right now, about half of the toxins in your body, like as we speak, is coming from your food. So when you get like a can of something or a bag of something and you look at the ingredients and there's things you can't pronounce and you're like, I don't know what this is. Your body doesn't know what it is either. And your body is just trying to figure out what to do with that stuff. And then it just kind of is like, I'll just put it over here and tuck it in one of the most simplest cells of the human body, which are the fat cells. So now we're just stuffing the fat cells. Fat cells get larger and larger. What that means on the outside, we get larger and larger.
Right.
So that's another correlation between weight loss and toxins and the importance of detoxing.
So the toxins make us fat, what you trying to say?
Amongst other things.
Okay.
Amongst other things, yeah.
Okay, one of the things I did, last question on this segment, you talked about stress relief. And I know something that a lot of people go to stress relief is drugs, right? Whether it's, hard drugs, soft drugs, I don't know the difference. But one that Black people particularly love is marijuana, okay? And we use it as, you smoke it, eat it, drink it, inhale it, any way we can get it. I know that marijuana has an ability to causes us to relieve stress, but it also has some type of healing properties, I've heard. You know what I mean? So what's your take on like marijuana, CBD, all that stuff? Like how can it enhance us? And I guess, because, in the past, there's been all this research about how it kills your brain cells and it makes you slothful and stuff. But then new research has shown like actually has healing properties when it comes to like, I think like glaucoma and stuff like that, and cataracts and different things like that. So what is your take from a natural perspective on marijuana? You know what I mean? Should we invest in it? Should we look into it? Or should we be like, stay away, or as in everything in moderation?
Yeah, so I don't really zone into like marijuana. I pan out and like cannabis. Like the cannabis plant itself is one of the highest therapeutic plants on the planet. A lot of times it's what we do to the plants that make it, that changes things up a little bit. Like the tobacco plant, highly medicinal, but then we take it and we do other stuff and add other stuff to it to make the cigarette. And that is like destroying our lives. So the cannabis plant, just natural, growing out of the earth, highly therapeutic, highly medicinal. I want to just say too, like I'm an advocate of stress management and not like avoidance or like checking out of life. So if you're using like cannabis for anxiety reduction,
right?
Calming your thoughts, calming your body so that you can then do what you need to do to debrief and deal with your stressors, then yes. But if you're just kind of using it just to check out from reality every day and just not be a part of it because you're running from it and you're never dealing with the trauma, the triggers, all the things that are setting you off, then it's not really a good, useful tool at that point. So like when it comes to cannabis, we have a lot of cannabinoids is what we call it inside of the hemp plant, right? So the two most popular ones are THC and CBD. THC is the one that will cause the high feeling, and is the one that is illegal, at least here,
right?
Here in Georgia,
in the state,
Georgia, So CBD does not alter your mind. There's no like psychoactive effects there, but you'll get all of the same benefits: the relaxation, the calming, the inflammation reduction, pain reduction, extra focusing, extra concentrating, stress management. A lot of people use it also for things like motion sickness, insomnia. It'll help you sleep. If you can imagine, for those who have experienced the marijuana plant, everything that it does minus the altered mental status, then that's CBD, basically. And there are all kinds of other cannabinoids too, but these two have kind of taken the forefront because they're very potent, they're very strong, and they have a high affinity towards a lot of different things we're dealing with, like cancer. like metabolic syndrome, like diabetes, high cholesterol, high blood pressure, but also, like you said, like the cataracts, glaucoma situations, ADHD, ADD. But I probably use it the most for, or not, I shouldn't say like use it, but like I recommend it the most to people that I work with, in the realm of anxiety and pain. I think those two would steal the cake. Yeah, those are probably the two most popular that I'm finding. But I just think that it's gained a stigma because of our history with the cannabis plant. And it's been looked at as like a terrible negative thing. But in its natural form, it's a very beautiful thing to me. Like as far as tools that you can use to get rid of certain symptoms and elevate your body. But taking it and adding things to it and cutting it with things, that's a different conversation completely. But just growing out of the earth, it can actually really relieve a lot of symptoms and change your life.
Dope. Well, that was some real good stuff. I really appreciate that. All right, we're going to get to everyone's favorite part of the show, Top 5. So you already know Top 5 is where we list a Top 5 segment where we go into debate mode or we think about something that's really fun and entertaining and stuff like that. And seeing that it is the holiday season and it's holiday spirit, I thought we'd do a Top 5 with the holidays. But Dr. K, I'm going to let you choose which one you want to do, okay?
Okay.
So we can either do Top 5 Christmas songs.
Okay.
Or we could do Top 5 Christmas movies.
Ooh.
Which do you prefer?
Ooh. I'll go with Top 5 Christmas songs.
All right. So, Dr. K, you can go from 5 to 1, 1 to 5. A lot of people try to cop out and say, you know what I mean, no particular order. I'm not really a fan of that. But hey, be free to be yourself. But give us your top 5 Christmas songs.
Ooh. Oh my gosh. Okay, just off the dome. Or okay. In order. I would have to say, okay, I'm going to have to go from number 1 down. Okay. So my favorite of all time is the album. My favorite Christmas album of all time is Mariah Carey's Christmas.
Okay.
I know, we hear
the
it.
first one, the original.
The original.
Got you. Okay.
It's like untouched by any other Christmas album.
Yeah.
And I have listened to every Christmas album, like every artist's Christmas album, and it's just something, I don't know, Mariah, there's magic in her throat. Like
there's magic in her throat.
There's magic in her vocal cords. I don't know what. I can't even pick a song. The whole top 5 can come from that album, but I'm not going to do that. So, but yeah, that has still for years been my number 1. Number 2, I'm going to have to go with The Temptations.
Silent Night.
Of course. Yeah.
Of course.
Silent Night. That whole album was fire, but like Silent Night, you know what time it is when the song starts.
You know.
Without anything.
You already know.
You
already know.
Yes. And I'll say number 3. I feel like I wish I had time to like adequately prepare and go through.
I know.
Because I feel like I'm going to forget somebody and
it's okay.
be like, oh man. But I do like the TLCs. I like their Christmas music. And
Sleigh Ride?
Yeah, like the TLC, they were just like so free and unapologetic, and I just like their twist on everything. The same with Destiny's Child. Their Christmas music was really good. But, oh gosh. Okay, I need one more. I know Whitney had. Yeah, Whitney had a good one. Yeah, this is hard. This is harder than I thought.
Yeah. Whitney's what? Joy to the World, or Whitney had another Christmas joint.
I have to pick one.
Let's see.
The Joy to the World was.
That was
amazing.
Preacher's One Wish.
Oh.
Well, she did all of them. Like
She's done like all the the traditional Christmas
Yeah.
carols. Pretty much Whitney, like you can't go wrong. Anything that comes from her voice. But yeah, I would say her, Mariah, Temptations, Destiny's Child, and I think it was Destiny's and not just Beyond. No, it was Destiny's Child.
Like the 8 Days of Christmas.
Yeah. I know with Mariah is that All I Want for Christmas and Oh Holy Night. Those are my two favorite. Oh Holy Night is actually my favorite Christmas carol. So when people sing it, I'm always comparing.
Yeah, right. Who's better?
And
yeah.
Mariah is like slaughtering everyone every time.
Yeah.
Did Luther do a Christmas?
I know Luther got some Christmas songs.
I feel like I've heard.
He has like At Christmas Time.
Yeah.
And what's the other Luther Christmas song? Let me see. It's This Is Christmas.
Okay.
And of course he has a Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas too. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I do like This Christmas with Chris Brown when he was younger. I like that one. But yeah, it kind of got messy towards the end.
Yeah.
But that was.
It's all good. It's all good. You did it though. All right. So my top 5. I'm going to go number 5 with the Jackson 5. Santa Claus Is Coming to Town.
I knew I was forgetting somebody. Yeah.
Of course, someone can argue that, Give Love on Christmas Day is, it's good. But I like the up tempo,
I gotta put that in mind. I need that, the Give Love on Christmas. Yeah.
Give Love on Christmas. That's cool.
Yeah.
Number 4, I'm going to go with, I think I'm going to go with Alexander O'Neal, My Gift to You.
Okay.
My Gift to You is a pretty hard ballad. It's hard to beat that. Number 3, I'm trying to think of all the Christmas. I'm not sure. Number 3. Oh crap! See now I'm like, okay, I gotta take off. I can't. I might have to knock off Alexander O'Neal, even though because I just love the Jacksons. So the Jacksons are always gonna have a spot. It doesn't matter. So Alexander O'Neal is a number 6 though. He's a strong 6. But Jackson 5. Number 4, I'm gonna go with Silent Night by the Temptations. Number 3, I'm gonna go with 69 Boys, What You Are Gonna Get for Christmas. Got to. It's a classic, okay? When that joint drops,
I forgot about that one.
69 Boys, What You Want for Christmas is a staple, okay? Now I'm upset again.
This is hard.
Crap.
This is hard. Probably
because I know what 2 and 1 are, but it's always like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna just go. I'll give my extras. Okay, so we had Jackson 5, Santa Claus Coming to Town. 4 is my Silent Night by the Temptations. 3 is What You Gonna Get for Christmas by the 69 Boys. 2 is All I Want for Christmas Is You by Mariah Carey, the original. And number 1 is definitely This Christmas by Donny Hathaway. Hands down. This Christmas, hands down, greatest on Off real. But I respect the Chris version. You know what I mean? I respect the Chris version. But Donnie Hathaway, hands down. But Dr. K, it has been a pleasure for you coming to the garage and pulling up on the Crowns Up podcast. Did you enjoy yourself?
I did. Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
this was cool.
Always. Tell the people how they can follow you, how they can get in contact with you if they want to get involved with you, what they need to do.
Oh, yeah. So everything is Elevate with Dr. K. So the website is elevatewithdrk.com. And that's just the letters DRK at the end. And then all the social media are at Elevate with Dr. K, DRK.
Awesome. Well, you already know, number one spot for hip hop, faith, and culture. Keep your crown fit and your soul lit. Make sure you follow us and subscribe on all social media at Crowns Up Pod. That's CROWNSUPPOD. Man, it's been a pleasure. I love y'all. Make sure you have a happy holiday, spending with the ones you love. And as always, keep your crowns up. Later.